my God, what a rush. Absolute rush. I don't even know if you're on. 2 seconds, let me just check you're on. What an absolute rush that's been. Happy Saturday, people. Before we go any further, can we just all have a round of applause for Keith? Keith, if you're watching still, thank you so much for your time, mate. Honestly, I really appreciate it. I thought you were absolutely phenomenal, and I think a lot of people did as well, so thank you so much. I need to slow down because I'm talking too fast as normal. But Keith, you did brilliant. It was phenomenal, interesting, fascinating. I learned stuff, and I think the people who did as well, who left a comment, so thank you so much. Saturday night. It's not about where I am, it's about what we're doing tonight. Mare Nostrum Resort, I can see behind me. That's nice, that was pretty, doesn't it? Hey, that's pretty views. I am Safari Centre, but I'm not actually going to the Safari Centre. I'm going to Parque de la Paz, which is behind it. I'm going to go and have a chat with a guy called Ollie. Ollie's name is Showbiz Ollie. Kid's lived on the island for God knows how long. He's lived here for years. We're going to find out anyway. He's the epitome, right, of rock. The epitome of rock. A proper musician. On the island, you get loads and loads of entertainers. You don't get many musicians. I know there's a few. I think if somebody said, name me the top 5 musicians on the island, Ollie would definitely be one of them without a shadow of a doubt. So what I'm here to do now, got to work out where I'm going. I think I'm on the road behind. I'm going to go and meet Ollie, and we're going to go and have a chat with him, and we're going to find out what it is that does it and what it is about rock. I need to slow down. I've just finished a gig at Princess Di's for a Facebook page called Tenerife Fun. They've got 10,000 members, and they asked me to go and do that. Brian, if you're watching, thank you so much for having me. Slow down. You come off the stage and you're exhilarated and you're 100 miles an hour. I spotted it when I did the Tony vlog, when Tony got up and started singing. I was 100 miles an hour on my speech. I get very fast, and I apologise for that now. Do you know what it is? I said I'm a middle-class white male. I've grown up my life that way. I've grown up in the golfing world, so for me it was collared t-shirts and chinos. Am I going the right way? Yeah. I need to find out where it's going. No, I think I'm going the wrong way. I think I need to go that way to get to the Paz. I'm walking away from it. I need to walk to it. Oh, Thai Botanicos on that right hand side as well. So I grew up with golf chinos. I grew up with collared shirts, and that was the lifestyle I led. You come across people, and come across people, let's say like emos. Come across an emo, and you look at it and you go, is that a phase? Is that something that you're going to grow out of? I see it, I know, I've spotted them, we grew up with them. You come across punks, you know, is that a phase? Is that you are? I saw an interview the other day about somebody who's like, oh, it's all about mods, the mod father, it's all about Paul Weller. And I'm like, is that a thing? Is that a real, is that just a phase you're going through? Is that your life that you choose from now? And sometimes what I try to do is I try and put myself in that position to think, is that what I would do? Would I do that? And I just couldn't. Now, with his name is Showbiz Ollie. He sent Shelley a text, a voice text. He went, hi Shelley, it's Ollie, Showbiz. And when you hear something like that, it's just crazy. But he's known on the island as Showbiz Ollie. And this guy has dedicated his life to music. And you can tell he's a proper musician. And I'm not. And you look at the way he goes about, so you look at the tattoo. I mean, for a start, we'll talk about tattoos later on, when you'll see these tattoos in a minute. And we'll talk about that, and you go, at what point in your life, and this is what I find fascinating, at what point in your life do you think, that's it, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tap myself up to this level, because when I get there, that means I'm the person who I want to be. And that's not me. I've got a couple of little tattoos, but nothing major. But that to me is what the most fascinating thing for me about it, and that's what I'm looking forward to chatting to him about. So we're going to go and meet him at the Bull's Head. I think he's got a gig tonight at the Bull's Head. He's a phenomenal guitarist. I've watched him play the guitar many times, and he's just a generally nice lad. But it's just, I've just got questions that I need to have answers to for myself. And he said to me, he says, my life's an open book. And I'm like, aye, we'll soon see if your life's an open book, because you know, it's like rock's all about sex, drugs and rock and roll. And I'm talking about sex, and I'm talking about drugs, and I'm talking about rock and roll. I don't know how much he's going to open up to us. Browse and list, do it that way. Remember these places? Parque de la Paz. Death of the Paz. We did a vlog on it, it was great. I can see the Bull's Head. There was an AC/DC tribute band down at the Bull's Head the other night. We were down here the other night for this, because Shelley, Joe, is into her rock all the time. So I think he's gigging down here, so we'll get it sorted. I'll come back to you in a second. I'll see if I can find you first of all. Sit down, grab a drink, and then we'll have a chat with Showbiz Ollie. Showbiz Ollie, it's a great name, isn't it? It is a good name. Wait till you see this. I think you like this. Mate, I've already talked about it. I've already talked about Showbiz. I've like the fact. Mate, I've already talked about it. We've actually already started it. I've talked about the fact of show. Mate, Ollie, thank you so much.
Thank you for
Ladies and gents, Showbiz Ollie, look at this. Look at this, right?
It's the inner you.
No, well, yeah, this is one of the things that we talk about. One of the things that I've always said, I work at Dylan's, you also work down at Dylan's bar as well. And when I introduce you onto the stage, I always say, ladies and gents, look at this man here, because inside, this is me. I have so often in my life grown up, in my life, and thought, what happens if I grow my hair long? What happens if I get tattoos? What happens if I go like The Rock? You just don't do it. I don't do it.
Should do.
No. I need to ask you about this, right?
Just don't go to my tattoos because
you are covered. I mean, look at this, because we're going to get a shot outside. We'll get a shot and you'll see it and I'll overlay it now. But when you look at you, mate, honestly, I've got to start right from... How old are you?
I'm 38.
I was going to say you're 30 something.
Mentally, I'm about 12. So, yeah.
Right, okay, so 38 years of age.
Mm-hmm.
To get this transformation of where you are, at what age were you when you went, that's the direction I'm going?
I always wanted to look like a rocker, but living in Tenerife.
Which rocker?
I pretty much go for Richie Sambora off the top of my head.
Who?
Richie Sambora.
From?
Bon Jovi. But he's Bon Jovi's...
You see, this is how innocent I am.
He's Bon Jovi's lead guitarist, does all the big songs. So his
Right.
name's Richie Sambora. I mean, I liked it because he was married to Heather Locklear.
Was he married to Heather Locklear?
Yeah, man. He was Denise Richards.
TJ Hooker?
Denise Richards?
No, Heather Locklear to TJ Hooker. That's
yeah.
That's my era.
I know her from that
50.
cafe thing she was in, that cafe program. I don't know what it was called.
So-
Monroe's Place.
So
I don't know.
how old were you then?
Well, I would have been about 10, 11.
10, 11. Right.
But I lived in Tenerife for the last 33 years, and you couldn't find little things like normal vests and all the rock gear. I couldn't make this transformation until I was, until I was about 21 or something. Until I had to find a place that did specialise in just these clothes.
So how many years were you thinking to yourself, right, I'm going to change?
It just kind of just happened. I never really thought I'm going to be this or that.
No, you must. No, hang on a minute, because you're talking about Bon Jovi come out. You can't do anything at the time, but you're thinking to yourself later. You must have had a few years before you thought I'm going to. You're covered in tattoos, by the way. So you must have thought the first time you're going to have your first tattoo. When was that?
My first tattoo was when I was. Don't say anything because it was illegal. I was just turned 15.
And here in Tenerife.
Here in Tenerife.
And which one was it? Or where is it?
It's the worst one I've got.
Is it?
And let's just say it's a bit of a tramp stamp.
The old tramp stamp.
Yeah, but it wasn't. I got it.
Not at the time.
Not at the time. At the time, all the surfers were doing it. 'Cause I used to do a lot of surfing back then, and all the surfers are really cool. But now it's like, well, it's a tramp stamp. It looks like it's a tramp stamp.
Is it?
You don't mind me swearing on this podcast?
No, it's fine. It's
saying words
fine.
like that. You know?
Yeah. So what?
Not that I get it.
No. What I'm trying to say. So here's a question for you, right? And this is, again, this channel's more about people from 50 plus my age and looking at stuff like this. And it's not about pointing fingers, and it's not about putting an opinion. It's about intriguing and asking stuff. Are you finished?
With tattoos?
No. With you. Right. To me, right.
I'm not finished with tattoos.
I'm 50 years of age. I'm 50 years of age. I'm finished. This is me. My hair's gone. I'm done. I will never have a beard. I'll never have a tash. I've got a little tattoo I put on there as a surprise for my daughter. I'm finished.
Just
Are you finished? No, I've got one up here as well. Right, I'll show you. Hang on a minute. I've got that one there as well. And that's a cover up. It's not a bad one.
That's all right.
But it's a cover up.
That's better than most of mine.
That's mine there. So
That's
it's a cover up of
wicked.
a very bad tattoo.
That's a wicked.
Yeah, look at me. Rock and roll. Right, I'm finished. And what it means I'm finished, I'm the finished article of who I am.
Yeah.
Not appearance-wise. Are you finished?
I'd like to say no, but I'm just looking in the light here and I'm seeing my hair line to be back here. Now it seems to be going quite far back. So I kind of, this goes, I'm going to.
There's nothing wrong with that.
If I look like you, man, if I go bald, have a head like yours, I'd be very, very happy. But me with a bald head, most of the time I look a bit like Tom Hanks in Philadelphia. So I'm trying to cover up the bald bits. I'm a little bit vain when it comes to my hair, you know.
Right, I'm trying to. Right, okay. So what we're going to do now is we've been going now for 4 minutes, and I'm going to need to cut to this shit because what we're doing, these are the answers that you just tend to give most probably for the radio interviews. The last one I saw, guys, because I know Ollie, the last one I saw was this one, and that. Just go there to the close to that. Look at that, man.
That is the Mayan calendar, I think, and it's got obviously got the rock on the fingers, which is be backwards.
I saw that about I saw it about 3 months ago, and I looked at that and I went, holy shit, you've tattooed your hand. But that's what a 50-year-old bloke does. He goes, holy, because we're not in this era and we're not in this lifestyle.
I reckon
is
you
this
could put it off though. If you tattooed your arm, you'd be alright with it. You could live with it.
Mate, seriously, is this What made you? Here you go. What made you get that? For instance, why that? And what
That's a good question. My girlfriend Donna, who's also our boss.
My boss, Dylan's.
She has it in her living room. I thought that'd be really cool to get it on your hand. And I said, I can't get a tattoo. I'm not going to get a girl's name tattooed again, should I say? Even though I got nervous in a different language.
Yeah.
So I got this one. It's like a Donna tattoo.
Right, so it's in relationship to your relationship that you're in at the moment,
Yeah.
but it's not the name and stuff like that. Mate, honestly, when I saw you get it, I was like, holy... He turns up at the bar with this tattoo on it, and I'm like, what is... And it's phenomenal. Excuse me. For me, it is phenomenal, but it's like, I can't tell you how far away I am from thinking about getting a tattoo on that. No.
Just live for, look, what's that say there? Live for the moment, and just...
Yeah, but I do live for
but
this is it. I do live for the moment, but my living for the moment is different to your living for the moment, and that's what I want to try and get to. It's not about, as I said before,
it's a hard road, man.
Forget the
it's
radio.
A hard road.
Forget the radio. I saw your radio interview. Forget it.
Yeah.
It's not about that. It's about actually, you're 38. I'm 50. So there's 12 years difference, but there's a massive chasm of difference between what I do, who I am, and who you are. We get on fantastically well, by the way.
We do. I've got a lot of time for you, actually.
Thank you, son. But the difference is massive, and I just want to. I look at it, and I said before, you don't know this. When I walked up here on the chat, I said, when I was growing up, and I was the golfer, and I had the chinos, and that's who I belonged to.
Yeah.
And I saw the emo, and I went, oh, could I be an emo? And then I saw the punk, and I went, oh, can I be the punk? There's fucking no way.
You need more hair.
No, it's fucking no. But
pins for your nose and shit.
I know, but there's no way. But there's the first. Yeah, it's like, what on earth decides to go? I'm going to put a pin through my nose. Yeah. You are the rocker.
I try to be. I like to be a little bit different as well. There's not many people I don't see in Tenerife. Not many people in Tenerife these days walking around like with these silly jeans and so. It's just
why are you trying to be different?
I like to be unique. I've got dodgy eyes, as we'll talk about in a bit.
Yeah, you're going to need to look at this. We're going to look at this in a second. Yeah, we'll do. I'll take some shots outside to look at them. We'll talk about that.
It looks great. It looks like a glass eye.
He's got a very dodgy eye.
That's a story for later.
But what rebelled you? I'm not going to say it's rebellious. What made you go, right, I want to do that?
It was weird because I went through a lot of phases. I used to do dancing in musicals and stuff. I used to do an acting thing. And I went through this phase. I was in a boy band. And I was really big on the Backstreet Boys because I've seen them live. And I was really into the harmonies. I wore the baggy jeans and the skater boy sort of look. And I just thought, when I started not dancing and acting, I became a musician. That's when I really got into my being a rocker.
Again, in the intro, you've not heard it. I said, if somebody said, name me 5 musicians on the island, I'd struggle, but you would definitely be up there in the 5.
Thank you.
Because you're not an entertainer. I mean, I work with you every Sunday. You're not an entertainer, you're a musician, and that's the difference. You get entertainers on the island. I mean, I've just come from a gig myself as Dick Rapper.
He's
not shocking.
I like Dick Rapper.
He's miles away. But what I'm trying to say is, he's like, you're actually a musician, and that's where the respect goes. He goes, yeah, because the guitar playing that you do is just phenomenal.
Thank you.
But it's just like, for me, it's like I look at that and I go, okay, so what age were you picked a guitar up?
Long story short, I picked one up when I was probably about 9, and I was just getting guitar lessons from my uncle.
But your dad's musical as well.
My dad is. My dad taught me like a couple of chords, but I wasn't into guitars.
At what age did you overtake your dad? Because I mean, you play with your dad.
Yeah, I do. I work with my dad. Rephrase. Yeah. I work with him. I don't play with him.
You work with your dad. Sorry.
No, my dad's great. I mean, he plays mandolin, acoustic guitar, and he can play bass. So he's much.
Dire Straits style.
When it comes to electric guitar and acoustic, I passed him about 50 years ago. Sorry about the ego there, Dad.
Again, like one of the things about this, as I said before, I am trying desperately to pull it away from every single bleeding interview that you've ever done, because you've done how many interviews on this island? Because you are like with the musicians, you've done a few. But
I've done a few for a couple of radio stations.
Right, just pull it away. I want to know, because you said to me you're an open book.
I am an open book. Yeah, I never lie.
I know, but.
It gets me in a lot of trouble. I wish I could lie.
Before I talk about who you are, I'm trying to talk about the look of who you are. The look. Right?
I think it's just a rocker me look. I'm just a bit of the best.
Are you satisfied with your look?
About 75% of the time, yeah. Sometimes I put something on, I think, hang on, that's just a bit too outrageous. Let's draw it back in a little bit, But mate, I'm pretty happy, man.
Yeah.
I just don't give a to be honest with you. I'm happy. I treat people with respect. I don't lie. Sometimes I look like a bit of a knob. Sometimes I look pretty cool. Sometimes I'm happy. I just don't really care.
If people walk past the street and saw you, some people will come up to you and give you a high five, and other people just give it that.
What
are you looking for? Are you looking for the high five? What are you looking for?
I'm just looking to be me.
So you're not looking for that at all?
No.
Because that's what I don't get. That's what I struggle with. Because I always thought when people do like the emos and the punks and stuff like that, they're doing it because they want to get a reaction. You're not. And that's why I'm asking you. So if you're not doing it for a reaction, why are you doing it?
It's just for me. It just makes me feel good, I suppose. You know.
Does that mean without your tattoos, you didn't feel good?
That's a good question. No, I mean, the tattoos, you don't really think you're going to get covered when you start with a tiny one. It just goes from there. Because I've got a bit of OCD. I have one here and one here. I want to join them up. So I never really take my tattoos away. I'd probably feel a bit different. But I've always been me.
Any regrets?
On my tattoos?
Yeah.
Hell, yeah. I've got one here. It's got a spelling mistake and it's missing a word. And it hurt like, oh, what the fuck.
And it's got...
Yeah, so don't go to a drunk tattooist.
Mate, honestly, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, now everybody's going to know it.
Never. But okay, so we've got over your look. The hair, the long hair. You're growing. I mean, I've got hair. You know, I've got hair.
I'm currently bald, man.
You're welcome to my world.
You look good with that. You said before.
That's true. I can't believe you get two people like myself and yourself that are actually friends that come together. I mean, I've known you now for a couple of years, 2-3 years maybe. I think Shelley bought the microphone off you.
She did.
And that was the first time I ever met you.
Yeah, my house got burnt down. That was the one.
Mate, I was fascinated. House got burnt down.
Yeah, it's like tumble dry blew up, man.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was rock and roll.
I didn't burn it down. I didn't burn my own house down. There's rock and roll that's being stupid.
And there's doing the laundry, people.
There's doing it, yeah. I mean, there was a tumble dry in Tenerife, man. Not bad here, because it's too lazy to hang his washing out.
So I met you about 3 years ago doing that, right? And I was, you fascinated me the moment I met you. And I genuinely mean that. You fascinated me, and it's almost like because people fascinate me, and different people, and you get run of the mill people. To me, are just like I call them chewing gum people. You walk along the street, you don't even notice them, but then you come across people who actually then fascinate you. You go, hang on a minute, it's a little bit different, and that was you.
Yeah.
And then I've met you a few more times, and I've met you since, and then again they're old. It's Ollie Showbiz, and it's like. I'm like, Showbiz Ollie, by the way, is a really shit rock and roll name, by the way.
It is the shittiest
But
rock and roll
everybody
name.
knows.
I wouldn't give myself that name. It came around a few years back. Well, but when I started out, somebody said, I used to do the acting and the dancing and stuff. I used to do a bit of surfing. I was like sponsored. I did boxing. Got quite high in all these things I did.
Yeah.
High as in, not high.
Yeah. And you must have got that as well.
Well, but I did.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
We'll talk about that later. Naughty. But yeah, and I signed up to a gig one night. And someone said, God, you're so showbiz. You do everything. And then it's like, oh, Showbiz Ollie's here. It's like, mate, that's a really shit rock name. Because I said that, I turned up like
but it's stuck.
It's a 6-foot cardboard cutout. And my gigs, it said, tonight live and raw. Showbiz Ollie is a picture of me looking like I'm in a boy band. When I had abs hanging out and stuff, and just it went to shit, really.
It's just,
it's my name, it's my stage name now.
I said to it in the intro.
I've got to embrace it, because I mean, it's shit.
It's so good though.
You don't go to watch Metallica and you go, lead guitar, Showbiz Ollie.
We've got Slash on Guns N' Roses and here we've got
Slash and Showbiz Ollie. It's just so fucking wrong, man. But it's stuck.
Mate, honestly, I love it. I absolutely. Do you know, as I said to you before, Joe said to me, she says, have a listen to this. And it was the other night you were looking for an act, and you went, you sent her a WhatsApp, and you went, hi Shelley, it's Ollie. Showbiz.
Yeah, because she went.
She wet herself.
Some people went Ollie who, and I go Showbiz. I think, all right, mate.
She wet herself.
So I just cut them off before they even asked me who for the second time. So.
I mean, honestly, it was
she did start having. It wasn't a voice message. I actually called her up and she answered quite quickly, and she said, I heard a bit of it. And then she's like, no, I'm not working tonight.
It's so funny, man. It was really, really good. So, right.
There's only one Showbiz Ollie, thank God.
It's you. Everybody knows you on the island.
Terrible name, but it is.
I'll tell you, there's a lot of characters on the island. I've got to say, there's a lot of characters on the island. And, sorry, I'll rephrase that. There's not many characters on the island, but one of the characters on the island is this guy as well, and it is Showbiz Ollie. Right, next question. How many bands are you in?
How many in right now?
No, not in. How many bands have you started right now?
Since it's got to be 25, 27 since I started.
Since you started, you had 27 bands.
It was duos, bands. I've been in probably 3 or 4 big 4 or 5 piece bands, maybe 6 actually. I can't know. And then the rest of them were duos. It's about 25, 27 in the last 20 years.
It's incredible.
It could be give or take a few, but it's definitely past the 23 mark.
One of the things I wanted to actually mention about earlier on, as I was talking about to people, was that. You talk about languages, for instance. I speak English, I speak Dutch, I speak Flemish, I speak a bit of Spanish and stuff like that. Your main language...
Showbiz Rick.
No. Your main language is music.
Yeah. My music speaks better than my Spanish and my English.
Your music,
So,
your language is music.
yeah.
I don't. For a lot of people like myself, we don't get that. We understand. You know, we listen to it and we enjoy it, but we don't get that. What happens to you? When did something's taken over you inside you to go? That's music. That's what it is for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's all, what's the word? It's, everyone has an opinion on music and what genre of music you listen to, but I have what I believe is proper music. You know, you got classical,
So you have
rock.
proper.
Yeah. I like classical music. I respect it. I like rock music. I like classic rock. I like blues. I like country. I know where should we say the where it came from. You know,
Yeah.
these things stuff these days, and it's all manufactured on computers, and there's no ear to it. It's kind of dumb for them. Like, that's not, to me, is not music. I appreciate the old school stuff. You have to sit and learn. Before the internet and YouTube, where you could sit with a cassette and rewind it again, and write the lyrics out yourself. That, to me, was music. Using that ear and learning to develop the ear and the passion.
Are you trained? Are you trained?
No.
You're not even trained.
No. I did it the old school by listening, just get it drilled in so you can hear what a C chord is and where the notes are. I mean, I'm far from the best guitar player around. But
No, you're decent. Like,
but
I've
what
seen
I
you.
have is, my opinion, is I can hear something. I can play something. You put me in a band now on stage with a song I don't know. I'll pick up.
Yeah,
the
you
chords
do that.
in
I've seen
about-
that. You've got an ear for it, and you just.
I'll pick it up in about. I'd like to say 5-10 seconds, but sometimes it takes a little bit more, like 2 or 3 minutes, and the song's finished. But it does happen. But I mean, I'm quite good at just jamming around, which is what most musicians should be able to do. And there's a few out there that can't. Which, not saying they're not good, but
Yeah, but it flips
you've
from
got to learn
music
your
to entertain
basics,
it.
you know,
Yeah.
and you can. So it's easy to learn if you listen.
So-
Really got to listen. So that's my opinion, anyway. So
Okay, how do you manage to live this every day?
I don't know.
Because I live who I am every day. It's like, as I said to you before, just a middle-aged 50-year-old white male talks about this. How do you because it's not an image for you, it's obviously then a way of life.
I never thought of it like that.
So what point did you think to yourself, this is the way of life that I want to do? Because the thing is, right, let's put it, think about the basics of it, right? A baby is born, put on the planet, it's got no tattoos, they've got no hair, and all that sort of stuff. But that's the truth.
Yeah.
And they can carry on through their life, they can grow their hair and stuff like that. At one point, you change this direction, right? Because you're going to go, yeah, that's not me. That is not the direction I want to be on. And then you've changed that direction. So now that's why I asked before, are you complete?
Yeah.
How do you live that?
When you say that, I mean, long story short, I'm sorry to cut you off there.
That's all right.
It's like when I was doing this acting and dancing and running and entertainment in hotels and stuff, it was, that kind of came to an abrupt end. I thought, right, I'm not good enough to dance in the West End or act in those kind of things.
So was dancing a big thing for you?
No,
I didn't know this.
It wasn't like we were professional dancers. We worked in 4 or 5-star hotels in Tenerife.
Well, like routines?
Yeah, it was like a red coat thing, but we were trained by the guy that danced with Michael Jackson in the Bad video. So we became
Really?
Yeah. If you look at Michael Jackson Bad video, there's a guy. If you look at to his right with a bandana on, that was the guy. We went from being crappy.
I'm gonna have to find that now and just put it on top of this.
Put
The
it
guy
on
to
top
the
of-
right of Michael Jackson with
His
the bandana.
His name's Orlando Palaez. He's watching.
You got trained by Orlando Palace?
Yeah, man.
If he's watching, come on.
If he's watching, no, yeah, maybe.
Give it up.
I'll send you the link, Orlando. Don't worry. But so he was put. 12, 13 of us. We were your typical animation red coat, not very good. This guy came and he made the shows from a viewing of 200 people to 1,000, 200
Really?
people every night. We had proper concert, proper dancing. So I can never really say I was a dancer, like trained, but I was trained in the fact it was by the guy dancing Michael Jackson. So you do know how to dance.
Holy shit.
So it is dancing, but it's not like, I don't know. Never good enough for the West End. But
I've
good
never
enough
seen
to-
you dance.
Then you're not going to either. No. I have, my friend Jerome has videos at his house, and maybe one day you have to be very drunk to show you that thing.
Mate, I need to see that.
It's a little bit cringy because it's not me.
Yeah,
I'm a very different person
There
now.
you go, though. So why is it not you? Is it because
Back
it's
to
a different
back
era?
to
Or
what we're
because
saying, I finished this acting, dancing, hotel thing, and I had no work. My best friend, Adrian, who's from Black Star on the show.
Yeah, you know.
He was my next door neighbour, and he said, teach me to surf, teach you to play guitar. And he kind of gave me 2 or 3 weeks, and then he just got me on stage and went, hey, go in the deep end, mate, do it. Sink
What
or
if
swim.
I-
And I don't like not being able to swim. Shall we say.
Well, here's a conversation. If that's not you, how do you know this is you?
This is me,
How do you know?
because it just feels right.
Yeah.
It just feels, it's just like that's kind of what I was born to do. Never, I'm going to be in a big level.
We do say that when I introduce Ollie on stage, I do say, if you look at Ollie, that's actually my name.
You're in here,
And that's the
yeah.
joke. But it's the truth is, it's like, I look at it and it's like, I admire it. I admire to have the balls just to stand up and go, yeah, this is me. You know what I mean? This is who I am.
Yeah.
And that's because there's a lot of people most probably who want to do it, who don't do it, who just go that way and miss it. And you know, because you look at so many people tattoos and you go, I think you've made a mistake there, by the way. You know what I mean?
I've made lots of them, as you just saw before. Innit? So.
But it's just like, it's amazing how you do it. Right, okay, we're going to move on. I mean, we're on a vlog and we're 20 minutes in, so give me 2 seconds. Let me just reset this.
No,
do you not care?
After what I've been through with my eye and stuff, and that, and my face was destroyed at that point.
Right.
And when you get past that, so you just do what
we've highlighted that, and you know we're going to do some B-roll in a minute outside. When we get shot your tattoos and we get shot your eye, I'm going to roll that into it as well.
Mm-hmm.
What's the crack about? What's the story with the eye? I've heard about it from Shelley, but what's the actual story?
Well, I used to be a boxer.
How old were you?
When I started boxing.
Yeah. No, with the eye.
When it happened, 27.
You were 27. You're now 38. So 11 years ago.
Uh-huh.
So armed.
So I was training for my first fight in about 6 years.
What, trying to be professional or just as?
No, I boxed from the age of 8 till I was like 19. Amateur, and did like a semi-pro where you sell your own tickets, so you get paid for it, but you don't wear a head guard, but it's not professional.
Yeah.
I was training for one of them fights, needed some cash, and I was so healthy, so I wasn't drinking anything, and then this came along to my birthday, 6 months to my fight, a couple of beers. So I'd had more than a couple of beers, more than a couple of shots.
How old were you?
And I was 27.
Right.
And there was a couple of guys starting trouble in my local pub.
A couple of guys who were up to no good.
3.
Started making trouble in the neighbourhood.
They literally were in my neighbourhood starting trouble. And one of them, it's a long story short, they decided to find that I was fighting boxing. They thought they'd have a go at me. So I gave 2 of them a bit of a slap, and then the other guy came with a full pint of beer and stuck it inside of my face.
You got glassed?
Mm-hmm. So I cut my face, I was hanging off there. And you can see my eyes, I had 95 stitches in my eyeball.
95 stitches in your eyeball?
Yeah, it's still it's been rebuilt. You can see in the camera.
Yeah, well,
it's
like it goes different colours, doesn't it? Yeah.
In the daytime, it's the same colour. In this light, it just looks like a white,
it's
black pupil. You know, I say I'm David Bowie, someone. You know.
It's the weirdest looking thing, honestly.
But yeah, I've been nearly caught my neck there. It's like 10 minutes from 10. They caught my jugular and he hit me once, full pint of beer like you've got there, and he caught my eye.
So somebody's just giving it that?
It was it's like that big. So you see, it goes from here, where it scars all the way onto my neck. One smash and it was a full pint.
Holy shit. Did the police get him?
No.
So they've never been...
Nah, and it gets me raging a little bit.
I was going to say, how's that affected you?
Well, the fact that between my mum and my dad, from July 7th when it happened, 2011, the money that's been spent from them looking after me, flights to and from England, surgery I had to pay for here, losing gigs, taking time off to about my last operation was November last year.
We followed your last operation last year.
And that was agony, that was painful. So all the pain I've been through, the heartache, losing money, parents suffering, friends are suffering, people doing charity gigs and stuff, which I appreciate, by the way.
I remember you had an operation on your eye, and I remember you were on Facebook posting about it, like saying, "Well, I still can't see at this moment in time."
Yeah, it was horrible because obviously when they took my eye was I had a cataract and it was smashed to pieces. They had to take off the lens of my eye and half the iris was broken. So I had a big black pupil to walk around. So I walked around every day like this, squinting because the light would go straight to the back of my retina, and it was agony. You get dizzy, you get anxiety kicking in. So even now it's a little bit sensitive why I'm wearing sunglasses, because this is not to look cool.
It's the look, man.
This is actually.
It's the look, man.
This is actually not the look. This is because the lights are actually. I'm on stage. I mean, at night time I can't wear, but it's.
Am I good in this light, by the way?
Yeah, do I look good? I know. Do I look? They're my good side. So it was, but no. I mean, the only thing that annoys me, I don't care about the compensation, or it's more about what my family and friends have suffered, what I've been through, and the guy's still wondering. Just want some justice. You know, you had a couple of drinks, you do stupid things.
Has that defined your life?
Oh yeah. A lot, really, because when you wake up, I used to be a bit cocky and a bit vain. I just had, walk around, I had nice body.
I didn't know you like that.
Is it, no? Before I had tattoos, I was like looking, I was like walking past the car, like, oh yeah, big arms. And
were you looking?
I was always looking at myself. You wake up in hospital, I'll send you a picture if you put it on this. I wake up and you change your life. You're blind, you go, you think your life's over because your face is disfigured. And you just think, this is why I don't care what people think. When you come out of hospital and you have to get on with this disfigured, horrible face, you just come with it. So me wearing daft clothes and having my hair looking a bit shit.
Do you know what it is?
It kind of just makes that That's how it works, you know.
We get about 1,000 people that watch this, and which is thank you so much
get
for
some
watching
more,
it.
by the way.
But the 1,000 people that watch this tend to be in sort of the mainstream. They like what I like and see what I see. What do you put it in the comments below? What you think when you look at Ollie? Because I've got to tell you, you are one of the nicest people I think I've ever met. I genuinely, no, mate, honestly, you would just. But we'd never ever come across each other in a space like if we walked down. If you put people, you know, when you pick like in the playground, you put, like who you want for football, and I'm like, I'd never
pick me for football.
I'd never no, we're not saying that, but I'd never choose you on my team.
Yeah.
When you do it, it's like, I'd have a beer with you all
Great
day
free
long.
kick. I couldn't play football. Great free kick, just like Beckham.
But that's what I'm trying to get across on the channel. Is like for people who watch this to go, there's so many different diversities in life of people that are in life that look completely different to us, and you know, it sounds like we're also we say we're running the mill just because we've come out and we're born and this is who we are. You've decided to go, no, I'm going to take this path. You know, and I look at the tats and stuff like that, and the flip side of me is I'm envious. But the other flip side of me is like, I could never do it. And that's what I find fascinating.
Maybe you have to have an experience like losing an eyesight or a nasty accident to make you want to do something. I don't know, everyone's different. You know, some people just do it and they don't give a fuck. Someone like yourself, it sounds like maybe you really want to do it. So I say just give it a go. What's the stop?
I got my little tat there, mate. I've got that one there.
That's not enough, man. That's not a tattoo. That's not a tattoo.
It's enough for me. It's absolutely enough for me. Right, okay, so 38. Okay, next 20 years?
Hopefully still be alive. That'd be nice.
So we talked about this, rock and roll, sex, drugs and rock and roll. Why are you saying that then?
Because my life can be a massive roller coaster, man. You
Why?
know,
So, alright, drugs, have you done it?
yeah, man.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I've done all sorts of stuff. Within reason. I've never been like a junkie on heroin. I did start off with a little bit of weed. Never really big into it. And I've done.
I've done weed.
Yeah,
I did weed. Didn't like it. It made me fall asleep. I thought it was crap. I did it when I was a kid, and I thought I went to a Bernard Manning concert and fell asleep. You don't even know who Bernard Manning is.
I know exactly.
Fell asleep. I thought it was boring.
I mean, I'm very calm compared to how I used to be. I've never really had a massive problem with drugs. I've never like addicted. But I went to the phase where I was drinking so much, and you go through 2 or 3 months where you're going out to certain bars and certain people, and you're all musicians.
Because this lifestyle, this comes with the lifestyle.
It does. I mean, you don't. I mean,
yeah, but do you embrace that lifestyle, or do you go, hang on a minute, I'm doing this?
I like
this. This sounds awful. I'm sorry, but it's like I've dressed up this way. That sounds so shit, by the way. I've dressed up this way. Therefore, this is my lifestyle. Therefore, I have to do this. Yeah. Or do you just go, no, this is part of the life?
I mean, some people think that being a rocker, you have to throw televisions out the hotel, or you have to take drugs, or you have to drink. I mean, it's not like that. I mean, you do kind of. I was boxing and training all the time. You take it very, very seriously. When that goes out the window because you can't fight anymore. Because
thank you, darling. Thank you so much.
Sorry,
the beer's coming in. Thank you.
Very much.
The Guinness is in.
That's Nicola from the Bull's Head.
Thanks,
Nicola.
Nicola.
Come and see
Bull's
Nicola,
Head.
ladies and gentlemen. She's awesome.
Yeah, we'll get.
When you find you can't box anymore, take away one thing you love, and that's been taken away from you. Then you start thinking, well, I've spent my whole life doing surfing and dancing and being sensible, still drinking. And then you think, fuck it, I want to try what the other side lives like, which I regret doing. Do I regret ever trying drugs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, but I fucking love doing it, though. You know, it's just everything's, you know, it's not like I don't do it all the time, but I'm trying not to do it now. I've been teetotal for quite a while.
Are you on drugs now?
No. Yeah, high on life talking to you.
Do you know what it is?
And I've got a Guinness in my hand.
I swear to God, do you know what it is?
I'm
I was going to ask you that. I knew I was going to ask you that before I even met you. I was going to ask you that and put you on the spot now. You on drugs now?
No, I'm not.
No. But do you need to be on drugs to hit the level that you want to be on?
No.
No.
Did
you?
No.
Did you though?
No. I've done it.
I
never did anything before. I did it once during a show. That was fucking epic. Problem is, you start think you're a stand-up comedian and you talk people's ears off when you're on stage. They're going, just play a fucking song. So you just get onto it, then you start playing behind your head and guitars with your tongue and teeth. Just one song's fine, but not every song. You know, and you stand on an amplifier up there, just dump you off the stage and break your leg and you don't feel it. It's just a bit of a dickhead thing to do, if I'm honest with you.
You know what it is?
Unless you've done it yourself, it's very hard to
never done it. I've never done it.
Don't do it,
no.
man. It is a mug's game.
It's not because of that, and you know
it's expensive and it's a waste of money and it's fucking stupid. I'm honest with you. I wouldn't an open book. So yeah, I've been there, done it. I'll do it again. I'm not going to say no. Hope I don't. To edit some of that out because I don't want to sound like I know it all. But
no, it's all about what it's about. Is to me, as I said, is you get a person, and these guys have seen on the first 3 vlogs that we did of me, of who I am. and it's just going to get a vlog of who you are.
Yeah.
I find you fascinating. I genuinely, I find you fascinating. I like you as a friend, but I find you fascinating as a person of what you do in your life, because it's a lifestyle that I would never actually go down that route of. And it's just, but it's like, one thing I always said, it's only stories. It's just stories. I like people's stories. I like people's stories.
I like telling the story. Like, sometimes I do go off in a bit of a tangent and start talking too much about myself, which no one wants to hear. When I was starting out in this business, I thought I was going to be famous by the time I was 23. That was my dream. But then you get to, I'm 2 years off 40. You start thinking, unless I get picked up now, I've got a few opportunities to do big things. But they're not big like. But it's. I will always come back to Tenerife because I've been here my whole life.
Yeah.
But there's things up there to be seen. There's a few things you need to knock off the list, you know.
Can't wait to see it. Right, just one of the things we're going to do, right? I know Shelley's been nominated for this Tenerife Entertainment Awards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shelley's been nominated Best Female Singer.
She got my vote, man.
Thank you.
She did.
Well, she got mine as well. So she cooks me tea.
She'd bollock you if you didn't vote.
She cooks me tea, man. She got me tea. But you've also been nominated as well, Midnight Riders, yeah?
Midnight Riders, yeah.
That's because that's one of the groups that you do, one of the bands you do. Is you and Matt Black? And that, that's the one that you guys work with me on a Sunday down at Dylan's bar. Mm-hmm. And Matt's voice, by the way, is 17 Going Under. Yeah. Sam Fender.
Sam Fender.
Sam Fender.
Yeah. He sings Sam Smith as well.
17 Going Under. Sam Fender is just like phenomenal. It's really good. You've been nominated for best
group.
How do you feel about that?
I feel really good.
Yeah.
So I'm in it now, and it's like I've been lucky enough to get a couple of them awards in the past, and they mean the world.
Do you know?
But this year, though, it's like it's how it should be done, and I'm very competitive.
Yeah.
So I think, fuck it,
I will tell you how competitive you are, because I'm going to put this up on here, by the way. Last night, I finished work last night at about 1 o'clock. I got home about 1:30, and I always watch the interviews and stuff like that. And I saw the interview of Frankie Mac, and I'm a friend of Frankie Mac. He's a good friend of mine.
Yeah,
I like him.
Frankie,
he's brilliant and stuff like that. And they said to him, "You are the most nominated." And he's like, "Yeah." And you put on there, and
I couldn't hold myself back, man. You tell him what I did, so I don't want to come
I think you'll find you're mistaken. I think you are the most nominated.
Yeah, I think it was. No, he got 3 consecutive years. I think he was. And I'm proud of him.
Yeah, he's done really well.
Frankie, Frankie, nice one, man.
You got my vote as well.
He got the. I think he got newcomer, then best solo artist, then best male vocal. I think one each year.
Yeah. But when you're on a small island like this, and it means a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, I've had I don't know, 16 in like 9 years.
16 nominations.
16 nominations, yeah.
That's
I got 2 in 1 year. One was best band, one was best solo performer, but actually had a voice to sing. Yeah. And that was but I mean, it's not a competition, but they're saying, fair play to Frankie once again, mate. But if you've got 3 in a row, I'm like, hang on, I got 5 and 3. don't take my only thing away from me. We're messing with you guys, by the way. Good luck to everybody that's in the competition.
We did a live a couple of weeks ago, and we said the people need to vote for them. They need to vote for you guys, Midnight Riders. Without a shadow of a doubt, to me, I think you are one of the best. You're a fantastic musician, mate. I think you're doing absolutely phenomenal.
I appreciate it, man.
Due to the length of the vlog, we're gonna have to leave it.
We can come back and speak to each other another day.
Listen, if you want any more of this man, he's just like non-stop.
No one's gonna want to see me more than once, man.
Absolutely fascinating. Ollie, thank you so much.
Thank you for having
really
me,
appreciate it. You enjoy it?
I really enjoyed it. Can I come back again?
Leave it in the comments if you want him back again. Some more. This guy's got full of stories, honestly, absolutely amazing.
I've got so many more stories. I just don't want to bore you all to death.
Mr. Tenerife.
Okay, so.
Showbiz Ollie, Mr. Tenerife.
Mr. Tenerife.
Guys, you know what to do. We'll see you on the next one. All the best, guys.
Thank you for having me, guys. See you in a bit. Cheers, brother.
What do you think? You like it?
I enjoyed that.
You enjoyed
it? Yeah.
Bit different, though.
Talking shit, man.
Bit different.